Grace. So happy that you are here for this sun salutation and this hip opener. We're going to be standing up for our sun salutation, then we'll get down on the floor and open hips. And we're going to be focusing on honoring this new day and new life and new opportunities within our own self. This is the new life, and it can be at any time. We can create new life in the morning, even in the evening. Newness is everywhere. It's a possibility within us at all times. It doesn't have to be springtime. It doesn't have to be that you're in a new relationship or just started a new job or bought a new house. You can create this newness any time of day or night and in any circumstances in your life, knowing that we are always born again new to each moment. We will never be the same self one moment to the next to the next. So honoring that new life inside of us, that new version of ourselves from moment to moment. So let's begin with the centering. Sitting comfortable, feeling that earth underneath you. And beginning to breathe into that lower abdomen, the belly breaths. Triggering that relaxation response through the entire nervous system. And I invite you to take that breath and move that into a 3-part yogic breath. So we're going to breathe into the belly, and then into the ribs, and all the way up into the chest. Pause at the top of the breath, and I like to just let it all go on the exhale. Some people like to go down chest, ribs, belly. If you would like to do that, you can. And continuing like a wave into the belly, inhaling into the ribs, and all the way up into the chest. Pausing at the top and exhaling completely. And continue on your own, at your own pace for a few more breaths. One more breath. Beautiful job. And let's come up to a standing position. And shake out the body. Shake it out. Move around. Shake out the shoulders. Twists. Just waken that body up before we move into our sun salutation. I like to always tap that thymus right here. This is that immunity center. As we tap it every day, it keeps it awake, it keeps it alive, it keeps it thriving. And we want that so that we can have best immunity within our body. Thymus here. Like it was when you were a child. There. Shake out. Let's do a little cross patterning. Just integrate that right and left brain. You can add the opposite hand. Beautiful. Let's get into our sun salutation. So we're going to stand right here at the front of the mat, or with me, I don't really use a mat very often, so I like being on the earth more than anything. So we're on the front. And we're going to move into our mountain pose. So remember, we can use those loops, the ankle loop, feeling a lift of the arches, shin loop, engaging the calves, thigh loop, feeling the knees lift, the calves engage, the glutes relax. Pelvic loop, bringing that pelvis into neutral. I've always got to tuck that tailbone under a little. Kidney loop, lift of the ribs. Shoulder loop comes all the way up. That chin comes a little more parallel to the floor. The energy goes back. So you're going to feel the shoulder blades come together and the shoulders are going to drop down. And then skull loop, feeling that crown just lifting up high. And inhale the arms up. Go into a little back bend if you like. And then exhale, we're going to go into forward fold, Uttanasana. So stick the tailbone out now and we're going to hinge at the hips down. Hinging down, nice little dive down. Bringing the thumbs, you can bring the hands down to a block or the thumbs down next to the little toes. You can bend those knees a little bit if you need to. And relax the head. You can shake the head out a little bit. Yes, no, whatever feels right. I'm going to inhale halfway up. And exhale back down to Uttanasana. And we're going to inhale, lifting the leg, lifting the head, and we're going to bring that right leg back behind us. We're in a lunge. We're going to try to get that back heel down to the earth. And the front leg, the left knee is going to be right over the left ankle. And we're going to come up. You can come up to the thigh. You can stay down in a low lunge if that helps, or even keeping the hands down on the earth for a lunge, a lower lunge. And let's engage those bandhas and breathe. So we have 3 bandhas, engaging the pelvic floor, engaging the lower abdomen, and the chin comes in and the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. One more nice deep breath, reaching up. And exhaling those hands down to the earth. And that left leg back into downward facing dog. Tailbone is sticking up, heels going towards the earth, thighs are back, head is relaxed between the hands. Engage those bandhas and let's breathe. Bring in the prana and life force. It's a new day, new moment, a new self. One more breath here. Next inhale, inhaling deep, and then we're going to exhale, and we're going to come down into our chaturanga, bending the hands in our plank position. Right before you get to the earth, just scooting up into an up dog. And you can rest the thighs on the earth if you like, or you can lift and let them hover above if you want to challenge yourself more. Engaging the bandhas and breathe here. One more breath. And on the exhale, curl those toes under and come back into your downward facing dog. Tailbone up to the sky, heels are down towards the earth, and breathe. One more deep breath. And on your next inhale, lifting the head and the heart, looking between your hands, and you're going to take this right leg and walk, step, or jump that foot right between the hands. We're going to move into a lunge on this side. You can either stay in the low lunge here. You can even drop the knee if you like. Or you can come all the way up into a high lunge. Square those hips best you can. My right knee is right over my right ankle. Engage the bandhas and breathe. Noticing the newness, maybe something that you've never noticed in the same place. Noticing the newness and feeling that new life surging forth within you. Every moment there's new life within us. Every breath. Inhale, reaching the hands up, honoring this new day, this new life, and then exhale, bringing the hands back down to the earth, bring that back leg up and back into our Uttanasana. Feet are hip width apart, allowing the head to relax, shaking the head out a little bit, very gently, honoring yourself, honoring this new life, this new moment, this new practice. Inhale, coming halfway up, extending spine out away from the body, and exhaling back down, forward fold into Uttanasana. On your next inhale, lifting the head first, giant arms coming up into Tadasana, our mountain, a nice back bend. Coming back to center, let's do a little bit of Ardha Chandrasana, a little side stretching, moving at your own pace from side to side, feeling the newness in your body. This is a new body. Keeping the breath flowing into the belly, honoring the newness, seeing the new energy, the new opportunities. Inhaling deeply and then exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling halfway up and exhaling back down. Inhaling that right leg back behind us, and we're going to drop the knee. We're going to move into some lunge rocks. So we'll lunge forward and feel that nice hip opener. And lunging back. And I like to flex and extend that foot when I come back. Make some movements. And just begin to rock back and forth in this lunge at your own pace. Fully immersed and engaged in your own experience. All the new sensations within your body. This new day, this new practice. Life surging through your body. Keeping the breath flowing. And coming back to center. Beautiful job. And we're going to take this left leg back into our table pose. The knees are hip width, the wrists are hip width apart. We'll move into a little cat-cow here. Inhaling into our cow, sticking that tail out, arching the back and lifting the head in our inhale. Exhaling into cat, tucking the tailbone under, rounding the back, allowing the head to relax. Moving at your own pace, your own rhythm, into cat-cow. New expressions of yourself, new versions of yourself. Every day, every moment of every day. More fully self-expressed, more aligned with your innermost truth. And adding any spontaneous movements you want to make. Maybe when you're in your cat, you want to bring the hips back a little. Rock back and forth and make circles. Just honoring your body, adding some spontaneous movements that feel good for you. Keeping the breath flowing. focused on the sensations that are newly arising within you. And coming back to center. We're going to tuck those toes under, pressing into the hands, lifting those hips, straightening the legs, and moving back into your downward facing dog. And let's move into walking the dog. One heel goes down, opposite knee bends in. And breathe. Relaxing the head, feeling that nice stretch in the calves. And coming back to center, moving back into our plank position. And we're going to invite you to do some push-ups. You can bring the knees down and do half push-ups. I might do that today, or you can do full push-ups. And it might be 1, it might be 100. When you're done, bringing yourself all the way down onto the earth and resting on Mother Earth and allowing all those new energies fill your body like a sponge. When you're ready and feels right, coming down. And sending the earth gratitude. Your body is made of earth energy. This vehicle, this human equipment that you have for a short while. Your eternal soul can grow and learn and expand. And then coming back to center. Let's press the pelvis into the earth. Bring the arms out beside you. And on your next inhale, pressing the pelvis in and lifting the legs and the arms into a beautiful airplane or bird. I like to pretend I'm a bird. And breathe. One more breath. Beautiful. And coming down. Bring ourselves back up into table. Curl those toes under, straighten the legs. Moving into downward facing dog. Tailbone up to the sky, heels down towards the earth. And we're going to move into three-legged dog. So we're going to lift that right leg up. And bend the knee. Three-legged dog is right here. And we're going to add a little extra. If you'd like to add a little hip opener. Bend that knee. Both hands firmly on the earth. That left leg firmly on foot, firmly on the earth. Just open up to that right side, opening that right hip up. And breathe. Feeling new sensations, new energies, opening the body in new ways, opening to new versions of yourself, higher and higher, more expanded states. One more breath here. And coming down. We'll go to the other side. Go into three-legged dog, kicking that left leg out behind. And if you'd like to add that hip opener, bending the left knee and opening up to the left side. And breathe. And one more breath. And coming back. Beautiful. And looking between the hands, you're going to walk, step, or jump that right foot right between the hands, dropping the left knee down onto the floor, and moving into lunge rocks on this side. Lunging forward, feeling that hip opening up, and making some little gentle movements. And lunging back as you stretch the right leg, the hamstring and the calf of the right leg. You can flex and extend the right foot. More sensation. And just continuing at your own pace in your lunge rocks. All the attention on the self, the sensation, and the new. Keep the breath flowing. And coming back to center. And we're going to curl the back toes under, lift that back leg so we're straight, and bring the back leg to the front so your hip width apart, feet are hip width apart in your Uttanasana forward fold. While we're here, we can grab the elbows to deepen it. We're coming up into half forward fold. And back down into forward fold. And we're going to move into our mountain as you lift the head and the heart all the way up into the mountain pose. And let's bring the hands in front of Anjali Mudra. Let's take a little samadhi break. Taking this moment now to dive into the heart. Feel that heart beating. Feel the earth underneath your feet. Taking a deep breath into the belly. Connecting deep within to inner sensations, the pulsation of the heart, vibrations, tingling, energy moving, aliveness. Allowing the mind to focus on one point of focus, a mantra, a sound. And then allowing that focus to be released into a meditative flow of awareness, leading you into silent stillness. Perfect stillness. You are everywhere, nowhere. Everything, nothing. Nice deep breath into the belly. Kindly coming back. We're going to clasp the hands behind us and open up the chest. Bring the shoulder blades together. Feel that nice stretch. Lift the head. And then we're going to begin to hinge at the hips, coming down into a standing yoga mudra, honoring the heart, the newness of the heart. One more breath here. And your exhale, releasing the hands, bringing them down to the earth, coming up onto the knees. We're going to move into our camel, Strasana. Here we are in our camel. And the first thing we want to do in our camel is we want to tuck that tailbone under a little bit. So we open up these vertebrae. They're not so crunched, opened up. Hands on the lumbar area, either side of the lumbar spine, the small of the back here. And we're going to lift the chest up. Inhale to lift the chest up. The head is going to remain in alignment with the spine and begin to back bend back. Keeping those hips over the knees as best as possible. I'd like to come up onto the toes. And if you'd like to challenge yourself a little more, you can bring the hands to the heels. And then take those hips and bring them as forward as you can, back. Feel the hip opener, engage the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. And then coming out, we're going to bring the hands back to the small of the back. Bring all the way up, release those toes, and moving gently, naturally into a child's pose. Taking a few breaths as you bask in this newness, this new day, this new self, the new opportunities. And gently and kindly coming up. You can move into a frog, Mandukasana. This is a nice hip opener. So we're going to bring the knees a little bit wider than hip width apart, and then we're going to take the shins and the feet, out, wider than the knees. Wider than the knees. So your hands can bring in front of you like this. You can see my feet. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the hips back. So honoring your body, feeling your edge. We like to stay only at a 7, not forcing and striving, but we're not loosey-goosey. And when you find that edge, engage those bandhas and breathe. One more breath. Beautiful job. And then come forward again. And bring those feet back in. And let's come sit on our buttocks, a gentle seat on the buttocks. And we're going to move into a fire lock. So the legs can come out wide. We're going to do one side at a time. And we're going to take this left foot and bend it in. And it's nice and parallel. I'm going to have my feet are going to be flexed. Then I'm going to take this right foot. I'm going to stack my right ankle on my left knee. And so my right knee is stacked right above the left ankle. Feet are flexed. You could put a cushion here. You see, I have a little flexibility issue here, so you want to put a little cushion in there. It doesn't really help me much, so I just let it kind of, hopefully one of these days as I keep doing it, this will get a little less and a little less. That's beautiful. And bringing the hands to the floor, we're going to inhale, lengthening the spine, and exhale, hinging forward at the hip. Beautiful job. I'm going to take a few breaths here, engage those bandhas. One more breath. Beautiful. And then coming back to center. And we're going to take those legs off and we're going to move to the other side. I'm going to bend this right leg in. I'm going to have the right foot on the bottom towards the earth, the right leg, and then take the left, stacking that ankle right over the knee. Ankle and knees are stacked. Beautiful. Flexing those feet. Bringing the hands to the earth. Inhale as you lengthen the spine. And then exhale as you hinge forward at the hips. Beautiful job. And engage those bandhas and breathe. One more breath. Beautiful. And then coming back to center and releasing the legs. Oh, beautiful job. Let's flop those legs up and down. Windshield wiper the feet. Getting more and more into that sacred embodiment. We're feeling new sensations, creating a new body every day, every minute of every day. Just honoring this new self. We're always a new self. Every instant, every moment, every minute, and hour, and day, and year of our life. Let's see. I'm going to think we're going to get into a table pose, and we're going to move into a pigeon pose. A really nice hip opener. So bringing the hands a little wider, and we're going to let's take that left leg up, and we're going to keep the shin as parallel as you can, but I have a hard time with that. Back leg is going to be extended fully back, and you're going to see if you can move that back as much as you can. And here we are in our pigeon, and we're going to try not to roll over onto that hip. We're going to be straight up. And I invite you to take the hands forward now and allow the body to come forward. You can come down. You can stay up in this pose for your pigeon, feeling that nice hip opening here on the right side. You can come down onto the forearms and clasp the hands, or you can come all the way down. And breathe. And then coming gently up. Good job. We're going to move over to the other side. And that left leg back. And let's take the right leg forward. Balancing up here on the right leg. Take that left leg back a little bit if you can. Straighten it out. Bring it back. Beautiful. So we can be right here. I can feel a lot of hip opener here. Sometimes I feel more here than when I come all the way down. But there's options. So you can come down to the forearms, or you can lay all the way down. But I'm going to stay up here. I feel a lot of good hip opening on that left side. And breathing into the belly, engage the bandhas. One more breath. Beautiful job. Bring the hands out. Bring that right leg back into. And we're going to come onto our backs. We'll do just a couple more poses. And then move into Savasana. So laying down on your back. What I love to do sometimes after that pigeon is do the supine pigeon, where we're on the earth doing the pigeon. Some people call this the four. So my right knee is up, my right foot is on the earth, and I'm going to lift the left foot and I'm going to rest the left ankle on the right knee. And it kind of makes the shape of a four. And then lifting that right foot up, bringing the right leg up towards the body, clasping my hands behind the right hamstring, and gently and kindly pulling that right leg into the body. You're going to feel the hip opening on the left side. And engage those bandhas. When you get to your edge and you find that nice edge for yourself, engage the bandhas and breathe into this pose, noticing the sensations, the newness of your body, new energies pouring in, the sun is rising, new opportunities, new life. Allowing that new life that's within you to sprout out to beautiful expressions. One more breath. And releasing. Beautiful job. And go to the other side, resting that right ankle on the left knee. Then lift that left foot up, left leg coming in towards the body, clasping the hands behind the left calf, and gently bringing that left leg into the body and finding your beautiful edge. And feel that hip opening on the right side. Engage those bandhas and breathe. New life into your body. New possibilities you may never have imagined before. One more breath. And releasing that leg down. Beautiful job. Let's move into a bridge pose. I like to press into the feet and lift those hips up halfway into I call it a half bridge, but it can also be called a two-legged table. There's a couple two-legged tables. And then as you come down, one vertebra at a time. And then we're going to lift up the next time. We're going to go all the way up into a back bend. So lifting up and allow that back to arch into a back bend. And you can come up onto those shoulders and clasp the hands underneath you, making sure that the knees are hip width apart. Feel those hips opening. Engage the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. On the exhale, releasing hands, releasing those shoulders, and again, coming down one vertebrae at a time from those upper thoracic to the lower, down to the lumbar, feeling that sacrum release and the tailbone. And then let's bring those knees into the chest and rock back and forth. Beautiful job. Let's bring those legs up. Just a little inversion. You can bring the hands behind the hamstrings and pull the legs in towards the body if you like. Noticing all the sensations. It's a new body. It's a brand new body today. Brand new life. You can flex and extend those feet to feel even more sensations. Just feeling grateful to have this experience of embodiment. And open up the legs. I'm going to bring the hands a little higher up on the legs to feel a nice opening. Beautiful job. And let's bend the knees. Beautiful. Let's bring the hands to the outside of the feet and a gentle pulling down towards the earth, opening up both hips, feeling the knees coming down towards the armpits. And our baby. And breathe. Noticing sensation, grounded in this body, this new life, new energy surging through your body. Let's bring the feet together in a supine Baddha Konasana butterfly. Feet are together and gently pulling those feet and legs in towards the body, feeling the hips opening here too, both hips at the same time. And breathe into the belly and enjoy the sensations. Enjoy being fully present in the body. Releasing those legs, move into happy baby, just kicking the feet around, Ananda Balasana, rolling around a little bit, doing what feels good. This is our last pose of the day. Doing any other posture that you want, taking this time to do that. Move into some gentle releases and Savasana. I'd like to move into our hula first for release. Just swiveling the hips. Sacrum, everything is flat on the earth, nothing lifts up. One hip moving down towards the heel, the other coming up towards the armpit. Just swiveling those hips back and forth in your hula. Noticing sensations, new sensations you may not have felt before. Coming back to center, we move into hip pointers. My right hip is rooted into the earth, and I'm going to point my left hip up towards the heavens. And come down and go on the other side. Left hip is on the earth, right hip is pointing up. Just moving back and forth in hip pointers. Just doing a few final releases for that lower back. Makes us very comfortable in our Savasana. Keeping that breath flowing. Keeping that sense of newness in our hearts. Coming back to center, we're going to move into cat-cow on the floor. Cat, we're going to press the small of the back into the earth, tucking the tail under. And cow, we're going to arch that spine, extending the spine. It's extending out to the front. The tail is sticking into the earth. And moving back and forth, cat and cow. Cat is flexion of the spine, and cow is extension. Gotta move that spine to keep it healthy. And breathe. And coming back to center. Both knees are up, both feet are on the earth. We're just going to bring those feet further and further apart, maybe out to the wide edges of your mat, if you have a mat. We're going to drop one knee at a time into the center. Single knee drop. Keeping the breath flowing. Noticing the sensations. Becoming more and more embodied in this sacred body temple. More empowered. More aligned. Finding newness every day. Coming back to center, and we're going to bring the feet back hip width apart, dropping the knees over to one side or the other. And you can either windshield wiper them back and forth, or you can lift that top knee up, let it come over to the other side, and let the bottom fall. Double knee drop. Breathing into the belly, relaxing. One more time on either side. And then bringing the knees to center and bringing those knees into the chest and rocking back and forth for one more release before we move into our Savasana relaxation pose. So, resting the legs straight out. Closing your eyes, getting in a nice comfortable position. If you put a blanket on or an eye pillow, allowing yourself to get really comfortable. Maybe your socks back on. Breathing into that belly. Feeling the entire physical body begin to relax. Releasing all tension. Fully present to the body, to the moment. Sinking the body even more deeply into the earth. Feeling it being supported. And we will rest in silence for a few moments as you integrate the entire practice. A nice deep breath in the belly as you gently and kindly come back. Stretching out the arms and legs. And when you're ready, rolling over to one side or the other. And then coming up to a seated position. Coming up to the seated position. Feeling that earth underneath you. Diving inside to Pratyahara and begin to notice the inner aliveness, the inner sensations in your body. And we forgot to set an intention at the beginning of practice, but I'm going to invite you to set an intention now for the rest of this day, this week, whatever you want. Set an intention, something new, a new expression of yourself, new expression of that sacred divine energy that is surging through your body. It's extending forth into all of creation. Let me see if I have a little chant inside that wants to come out. A spontaneous chant. I haven't done that for a little while. Let's see. A little prayer, spontaneous prayer. Ate uniakehe akunde ate uniakehe ate uniakehe aunde ake I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, light, truth, and peace. When I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for Ecstatic Yoga. I am Grace. You can go to EcstaticYoga.Studio to check out more information on our yoga teacher trainings and retreats. Wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day.